What's up, Unstoppable Squad? Today we have another AEW results. Tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest was broadcasted live from Gas South Arena in Duluth, GA. I'm Unstoppable Denominator. We're under orange lights for AEW Dynamite. Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and the Human Suplex Machine, Taz, were the broadcast team for tonight's event. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. The show opened with a graphic paying tribute to Terry Funk, 1944 through 2023. I didn't get to know that until probably like 8:50 when I first woke up. So I'm sorry I didn't get to do the news for you guys. But I did pay tribute to him on my community page. Trios match: The Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson versus Juice Robinson and the Guns, Austin and Colton. The Elite charged up the ramp and attacked Bullet Club Gold. Wasting no time, Juice Robinson decked ref Rick Knox. The Bucks superkicked Juice Robinson. Jay White, who wasn't even in the match, began to stomp Matt Jackson. The Guns blasted Nick Jackson with a 310 to Yuma. Matt superkicked the Guns. Jay White planted Matt, and then Kenny Omega ran in. Omega nailed Colton with a Snapdragon. Austin was looking for a Famouser, but Kenny blocked it. Kenny blasted Jay White with a V-trigger. Kenny went for another V-trigger, but Takeshita ran in and rocked Kenny Omega with a lariat. This match has been thrown out, said Excalibur. AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR, Dax Hardwood, and Cash Wheeler ran out to even up the odds for the Elite. Back in the ring, Takeshita battered Kenny with elbow strikes. Kenny fired back with a knee strike. Kenny lifted Takeshita for the one-winged angel, but Takeshita escaped Kenny's grasp and ran out of the ring. Renee Paquette spoke with the AEW World Champion MJF backstage. MJF says, "If there's one thing I know about myself, it's that I can't get enough of people chanting my name. When it's time for the main event at All In London, I want you to cheer me on. Let's make this loudest chant in the history of professional wrestling or professional sports." The old me would have BS'd you and said there was no pressure. But main eventing this Sunday, I feel an ominous amount of pressure. This is the biggest event in the history of professional wrestling, bar none. None of this happened without my own talent, without all the fans, and not without all the people who have paved the road for professional wrestling prior. I'm about to be the biggest headliner in the history of professional wrestling, and that's insane. Think about all the people that came before me. Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, Dusty Rhodes, John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, The Undertaker. The list goes on and on. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. And on Sunday, August 27th, if I win, I might become a giant myself. So if there's a lot of pressure, but frankly, it's a pressure I'm ready for. Look, this is all really new for me. I've never had a genuine friend before in my entire life, but yet he might turn on you. That's not me. Trying to work you guys, that's real. Adam Cole has made me a better person in a real short amount of time. He taught me I can trust, and I can let my guard down, but I don't think you could trust him now since he might turn on you. Frankly, Adam's not just my friend. He's my brother. Yeah, brothers fight, but at the end of the day, brothers hug it out. And we always hug it out. I understand why you guys would have reservations about trusting me. I'm far from perfect. Think about the worst thing you've done in your life. Yeah, I agree. I've probably done that twice. Probably. Not the things that you have done. Some of parts you might have. But however, I've been vulnerable for the first time in my life. And I'm asking you people to go on this journey with me. Be vulnerable with me. And I promise you, you will be rewarded. And that's the first promise in my life that I intended to keep. Because I'm not just a scumbag. I'm your scumbag. Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix with Alex. Moxley and Fenix trade chops. Mox ducked a kick. Rey Fenix connected with a drop kick on target. Rey Fenix followed up with a Topia Suicida and then a second Topia to Moxley. Moxley tore at Rey's mask. Moxley curb stomped Rey Fenix on the arena floor. Moxley drove the flat of his boot against the face of Rey Fenix. Rey stunned Moxley with a kick to the back of the head. Moxley charged and scored the lariat to Fenix. Moxley captured Rey Fenix's arm and then began to stomp Fenix. Rey Fenix scored with a kick to Moxley. Fenix was looking for a cutter, but Moxley caught him. Rey Fenix escaped and stomped Moxley and then followed up with a cutter for a near fall. Rey Fenix wobbled Moxley with a frog splash for a near fall. Moxley countered with a fireman's carry with elbows to Fenix. Moxley tried for a death rider, but Fenix countered with a cradle for a near fall. Fenix jumped off the ropes, but Moxley countered with a big anti-air uppercut. Rey Fenix connected with a thrust kick. Moxley dug his fingers into Rey Fenix's back. Moxley bit the face of Rey Fenix. Moxley nailed Fenix with a avalanche Death Rider for a near fall. Moxley applied the sleeper, trapping Rey Fenix and forcing Fenix to sleep. Wheeler Yuta and Claudio jumped into the ring with crowbars. Penta El Zero Mito and Eddie Kingston tried to come out to make the save, but Ortiz, holding the Mad Ball, got in between them and in the ring. Santana made his return. He charged right at Penta El Zero Mito. Rey Fenix got whacked by a crowbar in the side of the head by the BCC. Mike Santa is making his return. Ortiz making his return, said Excalibur. Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent came down the ramp. The best friends now coming down, said Tony Schiavone. Doc Samson had to get in the ring to check on Rey Fenix. I think Rey Fenix is in bad shape here. He got cracked in the side of the head with a crowbar, said Taz. Rey Fenix was carried out on a stretcher and then loaded into an ambulance. Backstage, I wonder who's going to replace Rey Fenix. Backstage, Renee attempted to interview Eddie Kingston. Kingston said, "You saw what your husband did? You want me to fix it? Yeah, I'm going to fix it at Wembley Stadium. You watch." Earlier in the day, Renee interviewed Sammy Guevara, Matt Menard, Angela Parker, and Daniel Garcia interrupted Sammy before Sammy could get a word out. Menard said, "Sammy, what are you doing? You realize Jericho accepted the offer?" He said, "Yes, And the only reason things went south was because of that stupid painting. Don Callis is exactly who we thought he was. Sammy says, yeah, but Chris isn't who you think he is. I've known him since day one of Dynamite. We've had our ups. We have had our ups and downs. And yeah, I don't agree with everything he does, but he's blinded by friendship. He's known Callis for 30 years. When your friends are in the wrong, and that's when you need to be there for them even more. I told Chris I'm always going to have his back, and I meant that. Angelo Parker says, Sammy, understand this. As your friends, we're trying to make sure you don't make that same mistake of being blinded by friendship. You see the trend. That should seem like MJF and Adam Cole there. You see the trend here. It's always Sammy who's there for his friend. But when it comes down to it, Sammy, is your friend going to be there for you? No. Not really. It happened the same thing with me. It's just something to think about. Garcia stared at Sammy and then walked away without saying anything. Up next, the Chris Jericho versus Will Osprey in All in London contract signing. Tony Schiavone was in the ring with security. Will Osprey walked to the ring with Don Callis. Chris Jericho came to the ring with Sammy Guevara. Don Callis says, everybody wants to know why I did what I did last week. Chris, it's real simple. The reason why I did what I did can be summed up in 4 words. Will, by God, Osprey. Because I realized the only thing better for me than having Chris Jericho in the Don Callis family was if I could play a part in the ending career of the greatest of all time. And I had to make an offer to this kid that no one else could. You know what I offered him? Your head on a platter at Wembley. So yeah, I threw away 34 years of friendship. I chose money and power over our friendship. I chose writing history rather than watching it. And I chose Will Osprey over you. So Chris, on a serious note, a couple years ago, you nearly died in England. Well, Chris, this Sunday at Wembley, I'm going to be in Will Osprey's corner to make sure that job gets done to you once and for all. Will Osprey says, Chris, you are actually taking this match seriously, or is this some type of vanity project to get your band to play at Wembley Stadium? Do you understand what Wembley Stadium is? It is the biggest venue in the entire UK. This match is going to change my life. Bravo. The day before I wrestle Chris Jericho, I'm doing an indie. I'm trying to put as much money together to put my kid through school. This match changes my life, bruv. After I beat you in wrestling, biggest event, I'm going to be the only man to say I've beaten Kenny Omega, Okada, and Chris Jericho in 2 months. And that goes very well in 6 months' time, because my contract comes up from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and who is going to pay millions of dollars for Will Osprey? Probably AEW. Because I know I'm the best wrestler. I'm better than Elite. I'm better than Danielson. I'm better than Punk. And I'm better than you. I'm surprised he didn't say I'm better than MJF. All your championships, your legacy, I respect it all, mate. But all it is is rocket fuel for me and my future. Will Osprey signed the contract. Chris Jericho says, let's talk about your future, Will. No, let's talk about your present. And congratulations to all the things you've accomplished in the last 6 months. But I don't think you'd have accomplished those things if it wasn't for me. Because 5 years ago, when the entire wrestling world was all predicting you were going to be in a wheelchair before you were 30 years old. Like your hero, the Dynamite Kid. Because you were so reckless, I called you. I got your number, and I told you to tone it down. Because if you didn't, you'd never have the longevity of Chris Jericho. And you would never be what I knew you'd be before anybody else, which is one of the top stars in the wrestling business. And hey, you listened to me, Will. And now, here we are, Wembley Stadium, Chris Jericho versus Osprey. And you didn't have to attack me from behind last week to get this match. Will, because this match has been in the works for years. This match was supposed to happen in 2021 at Tokyo Dome before the lockdown. But there's no lockdown now. This is Wembley. This is the biggest show in professional history. Which means it's the biggest show of my career. Almost 33 years. Don't tell me this is a vanity project for me. This is bigger than any WrestleMania. This is bigger than any Tokyo Dome. This is bigger than anything. This match means more to me than it does to anybody else. Because you're coming at this from the bottom. I'm coming at it from the top of the effing mountain with everyone trying to knock me off. Excuse me. Every hater on social media is trying to predict my demise. So that means I have to be the best Chris Jericho that I ever been to beat you, Will Osprey. But in return, you have to be the best Will Osprey you've ever been to beat me. Chris Jericho signed a contract. Jericho said, so prove it to me, Osprey. Prove it to your family at Wembley Stadium, sitting in the front row. Your mother, your father, your missus, your 4-year-old stepson that you've got to put through school. Prove it to them in front of 8,000 of your countrymen that you can beat Chris Jericho. And don't make me regret the fact that I picked up the phone and called you 5 years ago. And don't make me forget that I kept you from being in a wheelchair. Will Osprey slapped the microphone out of Chris Jericho's hand. Chris slapped Will Osprey in the face. Security had to keep Chris Jericho and Osprey separated. Hold on. Renee spoke with Adam Cole backstage. Cole said it's so bizarre. Never in a million years would you think a guy like MJF and Adam Cole would not only get along but become best friends. I think the world of him professionally. He's an absolutely amazing professional wrestler. We've had a ton of fun together. But the thing I appreciate the most about is MJF has helped me find myself again. When I came back from my injury, my confidence was at all-time low. This relationship that I formed with Max, he's reminded me who the real Adam Cole is. And I love him forever for that. When I got into professional wrestling, I never got into it with the intention of being a wrestler. I got in with the intention of being the best pro wrestler. I've won world championships all over the globe, but the AEW World Championship solidifies you as the best professional wrestler on the planet. This match is everything. I don't want to win the match. I need to win the match, and I will. I don't understand how people find it so hard to process that two people can be friends. Is it that hard? Is it that hard? I'm gonna say this one time, and one time only. There are no issues with me and Max. None. Thank you, Renee. We'll see about that. Tornado tag team match. Miguel, Mogul, and Bassi, Swerve Strickland, and AR Fox with Prince Nana versus Darby Allin, and Nick Wayne. Swerve threw Darby hard into the barricade. AR Fox nailed Nick Wayne with a German suplex off the top rope. AR Fox with a hit an implosion senton to the outside on Nick Wayne and Darby Allin. Nick Wayne's mother was in front row. Swerve spiked Nick on the apron. Nick Wayne jumped off the turnbuckle and blasted Swerve Fox with a double cutter on the arena floor. Double Wayne's World on the outside, said Excalibur. Darby nailed Swerve and Fox with a coffin drop from the turnbuckles to the arena floor. Nick Wayne tried for Wayne's Worlds again, but Fox and Swerve countered with a brutal neckbreaker. Darby came over the top with a stunner to Fox and then rocketed to the outside like a missile to Swerve. Swerve crushed Darby on the arena floor with a Swerve stomp from off the apron. Swerve booted Nick in the face. Fox hit a corkscrew brainbuster on Nick Wayne, but Nick kicked out at 2. Fox did it again, but Nick Wayne kicked out again. Swerve kicked Nick in the back of the head. Nick kicked out of the pin attempt again. He has great resilience, said Taz. Swerve and Fox hit double pump kicks in the corner on Nick Wayne. Fox went for the 450 splash, but Nick Wayne rolled out of the way. Nick Wayne cradled Fox and pinned him while Darby held back Swerve. Swerve says, "This is so disappointing, and by disappointing, I mean you, Fox. How come every time you get the opportunity of a lifetime, you blow it? I tried. Why are you such a loser, Fox? Little did I know this was a test for you. Little did you know this was a test for you. This was all a test. You can't be an 18-year-old kid, Nick Wayne, who I wiped the floor with. I can't trust you, Fox. I can't trust you in this match. I damn sure can't trust you in front of 8,000 people at Wembley Stadium." Prince Nana says, "On behalf of the Mogul Embassy, AR Fox, you are fired." The Machine, Brian Cage, jumped into the ring from out of nowhere and rocked Fox with a spinning lariat. Cage planted Fox with a drill claw. Darby Allin and Nick Wayne came back down to the ring, but this time they brought Sting with them. The Mogul Embassy retreated, leaving behind AR. Darby says, "AR Fox, I wouldn't be here today without you. You changed my life. You took me in when I was homeless. And no matter what you did to me, I'm always going to credit you for helping me make it here. Take my hand. I love you, man." Darby Allin and AR Fox hugged. Darby says, "Swerve, you're stupider than I thought. 8,000 people in London this Sunday. What are you going to do? Who do you got?" Swerve and Prince Nana were standing beside Brian Cage and laughing. Christian Cage and the TNT champion Luchasaurus walked out. Christian says, you guys shouldn't be so surprised. The true greats are always 2 steps ahead. Ain't that right, Stinger? Darby, Sting, are you going to introduce me to your little friend? I think I know who this guy is. I heard a lot about you, Nick Wayne. It's nice to meet you in person finally. I heard about your story, and I understand you have a father, and your father is dead. That was such a harsh move. I also understand that your father was a professional wrestler. Well, I've never heard of your father, Buddy Wayne, before, so he must not have been very good. The good news for you, Nick, is because your father was such a talentless hack, you don't have a lot to live up to. And if I were you, I'd still clear of Wembley Stadium this Sunday, because I'd hate for you to have deja vu and watch that coffin door close on someone you love for the second time in your life. That was still harsh too. But hey, Nick, if you play your cards right, kid, I'll be there to mentor you when it's all over, because we all know that every fatherless child needs a true mentor, and there's no better mentor than the TNT champion. You're not the TNT champion. Reminder that the TNT champion is Luchasaurus and not Christian Cage, said Excalibur. That's what I'm saying. Next, we have AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR, Dax Hardwood, and Cash Wheeler had a face-to-face interview with the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Cash says, we need to know once and for all, and same for you guys. I'm sure who is better, FTR or the Young Bucks, no excuse. Renee says each team has one apiece. We're now going into the rubber match. Since now we're going into this event here, I have a feeling there's rumors are saying that Tony Khan is going to punish the guy that got arrested, Cash Wheeler, I think. I forgot his name now. And pretty much I think FTR is going to lose this match. I feel bad for Dax Hardwood for that, but you know, we're going into this rubber match for the championship in front of 80,000 plus fans in packed Wembley Stadium. Does this feel like the biggest match in your career? Matt Jackson says, yeah, when we first did All In and all those years ago, it seemed impossible to do. 10,000 in an arena, and now here we are 8 times over. Biggest match of our career. Understatement of the century. Nick Jackson, I feel like Matt and I are made men. We don't need to win this match. These guys need to beat us for their legacy to be cemented on the top. I feel strongly about that too. Dax says, this goes far beyond business. This is personal to us. It's about the AEW World Tag Team Championships, but I think it goes far beyond AEW World Tag Team Championships. And I've said it to this point where it annoys me. The legacy, FTR's legacy, and the only tag team that stands in our legacy is the Young Bucks. And on Monday morning, I don't want to wake up to explain to my family that I lost. Matt Jackson says, I love to remind you, how do you feed your daughter? Do you remember we brought you here? We were the reason you have jobs here. You want to talk about legacy? I hate to do this, and I know this just got awkward, but this is the truth. One day, when this is all said and done, and we decided to hang up our sneakers and say that it's Hold on. Sorry, I have to do this real quick because I have an important phone call coming up here soon, and I gotta turn off my personal mode for one reason only. Hang up our sneakers and say that it's it. You know what people are going to say about the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, let's finally give them their damn flowers. That's the best damn tag team that has ever competed in professional wrestling. And do you know what they're going to say about you? They're not going to say it. They're going to whisper it. They're going to say, and those are the guys the Young Bucks named on their YouTube show. Oof. And that's the truth. Dax says, you guys had to jump on our name and on our popularity and insult us because you wanted to be on our level. There ain't no way. But here's the thing. 8,000 people. We will make you guys every time you get a chance. You say you're the foundation. Well, we're the foundation here now. Matt Jackson says, we'll see you at Wembley Stadium. Sky Blue versus the Outcast, Ruby Soho. Ruby dumped Skye to the outside. Skye swept out Ruby's leg on the apron. Skye connected with a thrust kick and then whipped Ruby into the guardrail. Ruby jumped at Skye in the corner. Ruby dodged Skye's eyes. Skye rocked Ruby with the jumping knee strike. Skye jumped off the apron and hit Ruby with a diving crossbody press. Skye jumped off the top rope with another diving crossbody for a near fall on Ruby. Skye planted Ruby with a spinning neck breaker. Sky Blue nailed Ruby with a Sky Fall for a 2 count. Ruby countered with a Cold Blue attempt. Ruby cracked Skye with a No Future kick. Ruby spiked Skye with a Destination Unknown and then pinned her. Renee was backstage with Roderick Strong in the Kingdom. Strong says, at the end of the night, at All In, we're going to find out who the real MJF is. And we are going to find out who the real Adam Cole is. Yes, we are. The Acclaimed. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens come to the ring. Bowens, no more games. We're still standing. House of Black, get your asses to the ring right now. Let's fight. And they pretty much look pissed. The arena went black as the lights switched off. The AEW World Trios champions, the House of Black, walked down to the ramp with Julia Hart. The House of Black surrounded the Acclaimed, who were standing in the ring, outnumbered. Both teams began to brawl, 3-on-2. The Acclaimed were outnumbered and were being pummeled by the House of Black. Daddy Ass stormed to the ring, and the House of Black retreated. Daddy Ass says, hold on just 1 second. You wanted my attention? Well, now you've got it. So let me try to explain to you kind of what you've done. A couple of weeks ago, you beat me for the second time. I sat right there, unlaced my boots, and I did the 2 hardest things I ever had to do in my entire life. Walk out on Max and Anthony and leave behind a really good career. And I was okay with that. But then, last week, you jumped Max and Anthony. You busted Max open. You hurt one of my kids. But that wasn't good enough. Then you took my boots and destroyed them. You tried to tear down a legacy that has taken me 32 years to build. I've done stuff in this business that will go down in history. I am a Hall of Famer, and you just pissed all over it. So for that, one more time, it's all or nothing. All in Wembley Stadium in front of 80,000 people. Look in my eyes. I take everything from you. Because at All In, it's the House of Black against the Acclaimed. And, well, unfortunately, that the fun-loving daddy-ass can't make the trip. But there is a guy I thought we'd never see again. And I guarantee you never wish you saw him either. Because there's a badass coming to London. And his name is Billy Gunn. We have our main event time. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions Championship match. Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis as your champions versus the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Aussie Open came in hot, charging right in at the Hardys. Matt and Jeff began to fire back. The fans chanted, "Let's go Hardys, let's go Hardys." Jeff launched off Matt's back and splashed Mark Davis in the corner. Jeff did it again, this time to Kyle Fletcher. The Hardys hit clotheslines on Aussie Open, sending the champs over the top rope and spilling to the arena floor. Jeff Hardy jumped off the top turnbuckle, and wiped off Aussie Open. Matt back body dropped Kyle Fletcher. Matt DDT'd Davis and then hit the side effect on Fletcher for a near fall. Matt dropped an elbow across the base of Fletcher's neck. Matt superplexed Fletcher, and then Jeff splashed Fletcher for a near fall. Davis was there to break the pin attempt. Fletcher powerbombed Matt Hardy. Davis muscled up Jeff Hardy and then planted him right into a kick by Fletcher. Aussie Open double-teamed Jeff with a Aussie arrow and pinned Jeff. "Hey man, you get a win over the Hardys? That's impressive," said Taz. Kyle Fletcher says, "Wembley Stadium, there will be no double clothesline. There will be no kangaroo kick. And Aussie Open will still be your Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, baby." The fans erupt as the AEW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole headed to the ring, shoulder to shoulder. They faced off with Aussie Open and had a stare down. Things broke down, and MJF and Cole brawled with Aussie Open as pretty much they turned their backs. Aussie Open beat down Cole and MJF. Aussie Open were going for the double clothesline on Adam Cole until MJF jumped on Davis's back. Adam Cole wiped out Fletcher with a pump kick. Then he served up a pump kick to Davis. MJF and Adam Cole called for the double clothesline. Davis bailed out of the ring, though. MJF was about to go for the kangaroo kick on Fletcher when Davis hit MJF from behind. Cole whipped out Davis with a super kick. Fletcher charged at Cole, but MJF saved him by clocking Fletcher with a back elbow. MJF held Fletcher back for Adam Cole to super kick Fletcher. Fletcher escaped, and Adam Cole almost inadvertently super kicked MJF, but MJF caught the kick with his hands and blocked it. MJF held up the AEW World Championship title. Adam Cole offered his hand. MJF pushed past him. MJF pulled out his AEW Dynamite diamond ring and put it on his finger. He turned around, but then removed it and put it back in his pocket. MJF called for Adam Cole, and they hugged. Then they hugged. Catch AEW Dynamite on TBS next Wednesday live at 8/7 Central from the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. This Friday, tune into AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. Don't miss AEW Collision this Saturday on TNT at 8/7 Central. Be part of the history this Sunday, All In London from Wembley Stadium live on pay-per-view at 6 p.m. BST, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. 0 hour begins at 5 p.m. BST, noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. PT. And remember, the home of professional wrestling is All Elite Wrestling. Thank you guys for watching. I will be here tomorrow for Impact Wrestling. Yesterday, I took yesterday off from recording anything. I needed to relax. It was a rough night at work. So, guys, sorry. I should have just posted saying no NXT, but when I got home, I was looking forward to doing it, but I was just needed to relax. But, guys, stay tuned for Impact tomorrow morning, and stay tuned for AEW Rampage, AEW Collision, SmackDown, and also All In. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And I'm out.
Hey, everybody. It's your boy Skiz here. And if you don't subscribe to Blonde and the Unstoppable Denominator, then you are a toothy bumfuck, pussy-ass bitch motherfucker.